Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my weekly recap, episode 3. And I just want to pat myself in the back. Hashtag consistency. Hashtag this girl can do it. I don't know. Man, anyway, welcome. So I thought it will be interesting, wise, to share a glimpse of my casual day when I'm not out and about and when I'm not in the kitchen whipping up something. I'm usually on that couch trying to get some work done, and by work I mean either I'm editing my videos or I'm working as a PA for the travel company I work for, that is Cape Destination Discoveries. It is based in Cape Town and we are looking to branch out here in Nairobi. Anyway, so I was making some posters or flyers for the company. I was also just doing some admin work basically, yes. And I do not like staying indoors for like the whole day without doing much, because it's very easy to be on your computer for a whole day, and the only time you're not on your computer is when you go to look for food or when you go to use the bathroom. It is very possible. So I decided to make something, tamarind juice. So this is the tamarind in frame, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that this is one of the best things I've learned to make this year, tamarind juice, because I was looking for something to drink that isn't soda necessarily and that isn't tea, and this comes in handy so much. So I'm just going to give you a step-by-step on how I make my tamarind juice. The first thing I'm going to do after I remove it from the pack is soak it in hot water. So you'd either find the tamarind that was in its shell or that was removed from its shell. Like in my case, it was already removed from its shell. And then the thing I'm noticing now more often is that some of them have weevils in them. So weevils are not a big scare because in high school, I mean, you've seen a fair share of weevils in the food you've eaten in high school. So I do not want this in my juice either way. So in the first and second soak, I'm going to try and remove the weevils. They just come out and float, most of them. And it's also supposed to like wash off any dust in case the tamarind has any dust or any other unnecessary or unwanted particle. It's gonna just bring it out, and you do not allow it to soak in the water for too long, because it's gonna absorb the pulp of the tamarind, which you actually need for our juice. So just have it there in your first wash, sip it, let it steep for like a minute, and then drain it, and then I soak it in water again, hot water, for a second time, let it sit for like a minute, and then discard that. So in the third wash, I just take my pot or my sufuria, I put the tamarind in, I put a little hot water in to covers at least all the tamarind, and then I add ginger. So I grated fresh ginger, I add lemon slices as well, and then I allow that to come to a boil. I also add sugar, and then I allow it to come to a boil. So once it has boiled and I feel like the flavors have immersed properly into the water, then I add more water and then allow it to boil and simmer over a period of time. So this is what it looks like after you've allowed it to boil and to simmer. Some of the tamarind, I don't know if I can call this fibers, they come out by themselves, but a lot of the pulp or the mucilage of the tamarind is gonna be holding on to the seeds. So after you have boiled your juice and you're happy with it, you're happy with the amount, you've tasted it for sugar and everything, you're gonna allow it to cool. And then after it cools, now this is where you get a bit handsy. Ensure you clean your hands properly, and you have to go in with your hands and try and scrap off the mucilage from the seeds. I did not capture that. I did it a bit late in the night and I was too tired to start capturing it. So you're gonna just go in with your hand, and it's sort of like you're massaging the seeds to try and get the mucilage off. Then after you are done with getting all of it off, you're gonna run the whole mixture through a sieve so that you can get your final tamarind juice without any of the seeds, without any other sediments or residue. And that's how I make my tamarind juice. It's usually super refreshing on very hot days, of course when it's been in the fridge, and it's something I find easy to share with kids as well. Like when my nephews are around, it's something I feel safe to share with them instead of giving them sodas or other unhealthy drinks. Yeah, so after I was done with that was on a different day, I guess. Again, I was at home, and I decided in the evening to just take a short walk around the home area just to get my steps in, to also move my body, because I don't appreciate sitting for a whole day without getting outside, without moving my body a bit. So this day I decided that the movement will be a bit of walking. Fast forward to a different day, and I attended school this day. I think it was Wednesday, if I'm not wrong. So I know you've seen a lot of these videos, but it's usually so fun when we are making these coffees and we're trying to draw. So the art on the top of the coffee is called coffee latte, and every time we try to challenge ourselves to do very perfect ones, and maybe 8 out of 10 times we do. But I don't know, I just enjoy seeing the cup come to life, from an espresso to a full cup of coffee with milk in it and with some pretty art on it. And courtesy of this course that I've been taking, I have been I have been liking coffee. I wasn't a coffee drinker before, I kid you not. I was one of those people who sneer at coffee lovers, and the whole hype around coffee felt a bit forced for me. It felt like it was mostly just a marketing strategy, honestly, and I kept wondering what was the hype around coffee for. And this was someone who wasn't even drinking the coffee, but mostly I was avoiding it because of the addiction that I hear lots of people get from drinking coffee a lot. But currently I am enjoying coffee. So after we make the coffees, the different coffee recipes, we get to have loads and loads of coffee to ourselves to drink. And just a warning for anyone who doesn't take coffee but wants to start taking coffee, just start slow. I didn't have anyone to warn me, so on the first day of making the recipes, I was drinking them like water, because I didn't know that the caffeine can actually okay, from experience, I've had instant coffee before, obviously, and it didn't do anything for me. I didn't feel like my concentration was heightened. I didn't feel any adrenaline rush. I did not feel anything. It did not keep me awake. So that's the mentality I went in with when drinking the coffee. But on the first day of drinking the coffee recipes and whatnot, I was super my body was super agitated from the caffeine intake. I was literally shaking. I was shaking and my heart was racing, and I had to go home in that state. Like, I had to go to town, and you know how Nairobi CBD is super chaotic. I had to go to town in that state. I was shaking, my mind was racing, my heart was beating so fast. I was panicking. Honestly, I was panicking, and it didn't die down until like very late in the night. That's when it died down. From around 3 p.m. to around 12 a.m. the next day is when I sort of felt some relief. Man, I wish somebody had told me. Anyway, so nowadays I drink it like with some regulation and awareness of the effects it could have on my body if I did take like a lot of coffee. So in the last video, I sort of broke down the different coffee recipes. We call them coffee recipes, like the mocha, the latte, the cappuccino. Yeah, we call them coffee recipes. So I sort of just did a quick run through most of the recipes that we learned and that we were able to do in last week's video. So over here, we were making a latte macchiato. So this is one of the most craftful coffee recipes that a person needs to know how to make, I guess, because as you can see, it entails a lot of tools and some level of skill, because it's not just pouring mindlessly. So a latte macchiato needs to be layered. So it's milk and espresso, but they need to be layered. So my friend tried it, and I thought I also wanted to try it myself. I think it was my second time trying this, and I was observing people before, and I was like, I think I hacked the secret to doing this latte macchiato thing. So basically, you just wanna use this spoon. I do not know what it's called. You're gonna use that spoon to help you pour in your coffee, and you're gonna use you're gonna use macrofoam milk, that's like thick milk, so that the coffee sort of sits on top of the milk, so it doesn't go in. But as you can see here, it already did go into the milk for some reason. I don't know where exactly I erred, but the final cup did look presentable. It did look like a proper latte macchiato, and I was happy with it. I mean, it's progress from what I did the other time, so I'm happy with it. That's your latte macchiato for you. And then at the end of the week, not at the end of the week, basically on Friday evening, I met up with a friend of mine, a former colleague and friend of mine, and we were supposed to do dinner and just catch up. Like, we hadn't seen each other for over a year plus, so I really, really wanted to like see her and just catch up and know how each one of us is doing. And I really, really enjoy her company. I really enjoy her company, and it was really nice just catching up. I personally want to try to be more intentional in my friendships, in my relationships. And I think this is one of the key things, the key steps a person has to make. You have to be in each other's faces and talk with each other if distance allows it, obviously. But communication is definitely key. I was so happy to meet her, to see her after so long, and she was doing well. We caught up on work life, on social life, on it was basically everything, and I was just so glad. We met up in Nairobi CBD at Mint and Salt. It's a nice joint if you are looking for a place to just go and chat without being rushed, without anyone looking over your shoulder, wondering if you're ordering anything more, if your table was empty, and they're basically trying to rush you out in case you aren't ordering more. So we were there for over 3 hours actually, just storytelling, and the music was good as well, so it helped to keep us there.
That's good. Mimi? Oh, yeah,
And then over the weekend, I had an opportunity to go to Embo to visit a coffee farm because they were having a cupping session over there. A cupping session is basically where you have a variety of different varieties of coffee, and you are trying to test for the quality of the coffee, whether it's good, like grade A quality coffee. And so the guy driving is actually the owner of the coffee school that I attend. And then he picked a few of the students, just randomly, I guess. And then we went all the way to Embo on Saturday morning. This was around 11 a.m. when we arrived at the place. The place is called Kamavindu. No, sorry, it's called Kamavindi Farm in Embo, Kamavindi Farm, just after the Embo CBD. So once we arrived there, we were actually among the last people to get there, which was not a good show, but everyone was so chill. Everyone was so chill. It seemed like we arrived just in time for people to start the session. So I got there, I did a quick fit check. I felt so good in this outfit because it was free. It allowed my body to breathe basically, especially since we had been in a car for like 2 hours plus. And I loved that it was also denim on denim. And I loved that I paired it with high cuts, Converse shoes. I'm trying like different styles. I don't know. I'm trying to be bold with venturing into different dressing styles. So I really loved the outfit and how it came out. But it was so funny that we actually needed to wear the school t-shirts. So I hadn't carried on. Eventually I got a hoodie, a school hoodie that I put on. So I don't think people saw the fit enough. Anyway, just kidding. So this is where we started. This was a coffee lab, the Kamavindi Coffee Lab. This is basically where they do their cupping sessions, where they have the different varieties of coffee and they do the cupping. It was my first cupping session, so I was pretty green on how to start, what to do, but I was very, very excited and very open to learn. So the first thing they do is grind coffee, and then they place them in these cups. And then you're supposed to nose them. Basically, that's smelling them. You're supposed to nose them while it's just the grinds, the coffee grinds. Then afterwards, they add hot water to the brim of the cup. And after the water has been added, you let it settle for a bit, and then you're supposed to nose it again. After that, you break the crust. Breaking the crust is the top layer of that drink. You're supposed to break the crust, that is to remove the top grinds or the sediments that settle on top. After that, you're allowed to continue to nose the drink, and then you can finally taste it to get the body of the coffee. There's a lot that goes into it. I don't think we really did like the whole process of cupping, but we did a lot that I hadn't done before, so I really did learn a lot. Later, we explored the farms where I saw the coffee beans after they had been removed from the cherry. So the fruit of the coffee plant is called a cherry, and then after they're removed, the beans are inside the cherry. So they had been set on those flat beds or patios to dry, and those were just some of the pictures of the coffee beans while they were out drying just before, it's part of the process before they're ready for bagging, or before they're ready for storage, or before they're ready for roasting, so that you can get the dark brown coffee beans that people are more familiar with. It's a whole process. I had absolutely no idea that the coffee process was that, like, I don't want to say it's lengthy and burdensome, but it's quite a process. So if you're not one for the heavy work, you might not want to have a coffee farm, or you might not want to venture into the coffee business, especially in the farming bit of it. Then after we were done with the cupping session, we had lunch and we had some time to just cool off, and we decided to play. So they have like a huge land, and there was a ball just hanging around, so we decided to just play a bit, try and get the food to settle properly before we could go back in for another session. Before long, we were all ready to go visit the farms. So they have an extensive farm for coffee. I think the guy gave us an average of like 20 acres. That's including the coffee farms and where they built their houses, including where the staff lives as well, where they have the staff quarters, and the field, the playing fields, and the whole land is basically 20 acres. So we had quite a time walking around, looking at the coffee trees, the different coffee varieties they have. They have SL28, SL34, they have Batian as well, and they have they have the Gesha variety. And I think they have a Roiro 11 as well. So different varieties there, so that they could get like different outcomes from their coffee. And then after that, the final thing that we did was a pour over session. Pour over is one of the brewing methods that we have, where you basically put your coffee grinds in a filter, and then you pour hot water over it, and it steeps and mixes with the coffee grounds, and then it gives you coffee. So the guy in frame is actually their main buyer, that is Kamavindi Farms' main buyer for their coffee, and he is from a company called April in Sweden. And I think They had just done a farm visit to see one of their coffee suppliers, and they decided to just have I don't know, make it open for like us to go and visit and see what exactly happens at the farm and kind of learn from the farm management and also learn from him. He's a professional roaster, he's a professional barista, if you may say that in a sense, because he's been to a couple of championships or competitions. So apparently there are also competitions for baristas where they compete in brewing and they compete in latte art and I don't know what else. He was just answering very many questions, and in this particular session he was guiding us on how to pour if there is a perfect brew, and he was just showing us how to layer everything, the filter, what kind of grind to use, the temperature of water, and everything in between basically. And it was a nice session. Eventually, he did get to the brewing, and we did have a bit of the coffee. It was little for the number of people that were there, so we were basically just tasting it. But it was great coffee, and after that, we were ready to leave because it seemed like we were the only ones who were coming from a bit far, so we had to leave immediately after this brewing session. We left, and thank God we did get to our home safely. I got home at around 10 p.m. actually in the night, and I was super tired. But I had a very fulfilling day, so I was equally super happy and grateful and fulfilled.